Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, as you see right here, Chris Jericho will return and dress his return live in his native hometown of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. What does Y2J have to say? And why in the heck is Ricochet picking a fight with Y2J? We'll talk about it coming up here. Well as this, Kenny Omega is live as well. He speaks before his big championship match against MJF. We see that confrontation coming up between Kenny Omega and World Champion MJF before Dynasty. But we get the Pro Wrestling Show started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, King Hook here. Glad you join us in the Pro Wrestling Show for the AEW Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. I know there's everybody on here who's a big wrestling fan. Subscribe. We love wrestling just like you love wrestling. When you subscribe, doesn't hurt to like, share, comment, and subscribe right here on the Pro Wrestling Show. So we're doing AEW here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Let's not waste no time whatsoever. We're going to kick things off with this. What a brawl this was going on right here. As you see, the Death Riders and Will Ospreay all in the ring, all outside doing a backstage brawl. And what a backstage brawl it was. The brawl had encompassed throughout. As you see right here, everybody was lining up ready to fight. I mean, there was more of a what they call Fight Club-ish situation. It became that way. It became that way tonight. And we saw right here, the Fight Club came to around. We saw that Fight Club going around. You have to wonder, Will Ospreay will meet John Moxley this Sunday at Dynasty. They will have a match at Dynasty one-on-one. So a lot of commentators are saying this is Will Ospreay's test to, defeat John Moxley and go more and more to become the AEW champion as they get prepared for that big event in Wimbledon. So we're seeing a lot coming forward in this situation, but like I said, we're seeing how they're gonna go. Well, so Moxley and Will Ospreay, Bella. Will Ospreay sent a message right here. And he's coming from Moxley. And he's coming to beat Moxley. Well, we'll see that coming forward between them and stuff. So we'll see. Speaking of that, Will Ospreay doing the same thing, doing what he needed to do to get the win. Well, look, the Don Callis family is getting stronger and stronger by the day. You see a dry day beating Jack Perry, as well as Concussion and Mark Davis. They're getting stronger and stronger by the day. But is there just some dissension going on in Don Callis' family? There could be some dissension. Don Callis even told his troops he wants to Kesha and Okada to team up together and take on the Young Bucks. But Takesha said he got other plans. Takesha telling what's his name? Will Ron Callis that he was Okada's goal. Okada was smirking and laughing like it wasn't nothing to him, didn't phase him. But Don Callis said, yeah, well, I'll give you the match. Just y'all team together and y'all gotta do what you gotta do. Work as a united team. And then Don Callis referred to himself as Phil Jackson, used to coach the Chicago Bulls. And they're saying Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, who did get along, but you know, some folks said they didn't get along, but they got along. But Okada with that famous line saying, "I'm Michael Jordan and you're Scottie Pippen," they was about to go at blows. I like, oh man, here we go. They about to attack each other. I think they got to sell it and leave it there. But you can tell it's from the blow. I think Okada's gonna screw Takesha, and we're gonna have a feud from there. We can go from there. It's gonna be real, real crazy. Tell you. So yeah, and we're going to each other's throats in the late. So you kind of see how that's gonna go. Yeah, but you can tell what how probable that is, and um, how everything is real situation. All right, we move on to from Takesha and Okada to this right. We kind of know what's going on to this right here. Chris Jericho made his surprise return back to AEW. Jericho's back. Jericho has been on AEW for almost a year, and Chris Jericho's back. Chris Jericho took some time off to get himself in shape, get a right feel of mind, training and stuff. But guess who crashes the party right here? Ricochet, Khan, entirely over the demand came out of nowhere to interrupt Chris Jericho and told Chris Jericho that he's not wanted in AEW. Jericho didn't take offense to it. Jericho decided that he came back to AEW to help AEW help build new stars, and that's what he's going to do. Jericho saying that Ricochet is going to be on the list, and Jericho was about to sign his contract, his new AEW contract, until he got interrupted by Ricochet, like we told you. But Jericho said that he can choose his opponent, and Jericho decided that he's going to choose Ricochet as his first opponent. We're back in the ring. So Ricochet really opened his big wide mouth, get himself that he can't cash. So Ricochet and Chris Jericho will meet at Dynasty 1-on-1. We'll see what the man will be involved. We'll see how that's going to go. All right, we move on to that situation to the Rascals. The Rascals was in action. The Rascals won their match tonight. The Rascals doing what they did in the best believe the Rascals kind of made it a point tonight is what they did. We saw how the Rascals did. The Rascals showcasing they want the tag team belts or something. But they did, but the Rascals pointing out that what they had going on and how it was gonna play out eventually. But you can see Takesh Okada will defend the AEW International Championship, Continental Championship against you know who not that dude's name and against him as well. So looking forward to seeing that what match that's going to be coming up. Going on as well. So looks like Myron Reed will get a shot at the AEW the AEW championship. So no. So we see that. Well, we got some breaking news. We'll talk about a little bit later on the pro wrestling show, on hot topics and stuff. But we also get to this right here, the tag team situation. As Edge and Christian came out there to talk, but Edge and Christian got beat up for their troubles by Roppongi Vice and FTR. FTR Even Stokey got involved, spearing Christian. Speared Christian after Edge and Christian took out Roppongi Vice right here last week. Roppongi Vice decided they were going to return the favor. That's what they did. That's what they did by attacking Edge and Christian the way they did as stuff. Well, Willow Nightingale was in action as well. Willow Nightingale, I'll show you Willow right quick. Willow Nightingale was in action as well. So Willow reaping in the win over you know who. And Government Willow Nightingale win. As well as Tommaso Ciampa won his match, but he'll be part of the Casino Garland match to crown a new TNT champion. We'll get to that coming up in a minute about the TNT championship situation coming up. Well, we get to this right here. This week will be history in the making as AEW champion MJF will defend the door against former AEW champion Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega holding no punches that he is the best bout machine, and Kenny Omega saying that he will do what he needs to do to win. Kenny Omega saying that this is his moment. He wants the championship back. And what do they go after Kenny Omega? If Kenny Omega may lose the world championship, that's the question that everybody wants to know. But like you said, Kenny Omega saying that he's going to lead Dynasty with the AEW championship. That's what Kenny Omega said he's going to do. Omega saying the same stuff that he's been saying and he's been preaching as of late. Kenny Omega. So let's see. Kenny Omega saying that he knows MJF from the back of his head and laid out MJF, laid him out and took his pinky ring and saying that he's going to do what he's going to do. So we could see how there's going to go between Omega and MJF coming up. Don't forget, this weekend we'll have the Dynasty. I want to show you that right quick. We'll have Dynasty predict the outcome as well as the review for Dynasty. So look forward to seeing the AEW Dynasty coming up. Ken Omega and MJF headlining the show. And Ken Omega regained the AEW championship. It's going to be a long, hard struggle, but Omega showed that he can do it. We'll have to wait and see if Omega can do so. Winning back the world championship. We'll see how this is going to go. All right. That ends the AEW Ring Report. Let's move over to wrestling hot topics. Speaking of world champion MJF, MJF was scheduled to meet former WWE world champion Nick Niemann, former TNA champion Nick Niemann in a match. Well, that match has been canceled. So due to TNA withdrawing from the match, so TNA doesn't want its stars to wrestle AEW stars, which is crazy to me. Super promotion for everybody. The AEW versus TNA. They don't want to do that in the Indies. TNA trying to regulate that. But as you can tell right here, WWE, maybe WWE had something to do with TNA. We'll never know. As you see right here, we see AEW on WWE, but MJF didn't pull out the AEW did, but it was just TNA. We'll see about that. Well, speaking of champions, Kyle Fletcher, the TNT champion, had to vacate his championship. Kyle Fletcher no longer the TNT champion. Kyle Fletcher vacated the championship now. He told you it's going to be a casino battle royal, casino gauntlet match to determine who's next to become the TNT champion. So we'll see that going forward as well. So if you like Tommaso Ciampa wanted that title or another, he'll get a version of it this weekend to see if he can take it. So we'll see about that. Well, speaking of that, AEW founder and WWE champion Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes no longer works for AEW, but he's still considered the founder of AEW in a way. He sits down. This very special interview with Cody Rhodes. So we'll get, since it'll be an AEW matter, because Triple H sits down, talks about that matter when Cody was in AEW, smashing the throw. We'll get Triple H's opinion and what he was thinking at the time. You know, Triple H ain't gonna really tell you the God honest truth. He's gonna try to make it seem like it was something out of nothing, but he was kind of probably pissed off because they were both competitors at the time, both vying for views, and Cody Rhodes now a part of the WWE family because Triple H and all them. So we'll see coming up this Thursday, and I really want to hear that story coming up Thursday. We'll see how it's gonna be. Well, speaking of that, we found out right here about American Gladiators that's coming to Prime, and we see some of the wrestlers that were in AEW and WWE. We see Jesse Gardner's from TNA. He got a new name. The Miz is the host. You see, got her name from NWA, and she's on there. Like Warlow's on there. Everybody's on there. American Gladiators, so it's coming on Prime. So you got a couple of WWE stars and a couple of AEW stars, TNA stars. I guess a mixture of everybody from different federations. So we'll see how this is going to play out eventually. How he's going to do. So there's a lot going on here on the AEW Ring Report. Don't forget, we'll have predicted outcome for the AEW Dynasty coming up as well this Sunday, as well as the review coming up Sunday. Sunday's going to be a really busy night on Connect TV. I tell you that right now. With Pro Wrestling Show, Connect Now, and a host of others. It's going to be a really, really busy Sunday night. I'm telling you, Sunday night program ain't going to be no better than it once was. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the AEW Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you tomorrow for the TNA Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.